So, a commenter recently recommended to me that I should make a video on the reimagined Acura Integra, and after sitting on it for a little bit, I came to the conclusion that tied with Hyundai's N division, Acura's performance wing is probably making the best performance cars for sale right now, and I'm aware to call that a hot take would be an understatement, especially with performance divisions like BMW's M division and Stellantis's SRT division pumping out cars like the Demon 170. But this is something that I really believe with my whole heart, and hopefully by the end of the video, you too will agree with me. Real quick, I'm not going to focus on things like the OG Integra Type R and such. Don't get me wrong, these cars are amazing vehicles. I just want to focus on the modern reimagined versions of classics, as people seem to get the wrong ideas about them, starting with the reimagined NSX. Now, the second gen NSX can actually trace its roots back all the way to late 2007, when Honda announced that they were working on a successor to the OG JDM Legend. They said their goal to have the next gen NSX on showroom floors by the 2011 model year, with deliveries starting midway through 2010. This was going to be the swan song of all supercars, not only going toe-to-toe with the newly released Lamborghini Gallardo and Audi R8, but the end goal was to smash track records for a heavily discounted price. And it started out well, as they had a V10 from this awesome looking concept car called the ASCC, and they were going to loosely base the design styling on this beautiful car as well. However, like most cool 2000s projects, the 2008 financial crisis took a wrecking ball to the idea very quickly, with Honda announcing just 1 year later that the plans had been scrapped. But they kinda lied straight to our face, as just 2 years after the second gen NSX project was cancelled, Honda shocked the automotive world by announcing this. It's called the HSV010 GT, and some people even then didn't like it. Personally, I love the looks of this car. However, it wasn't all good news, as in the same breath, Honda confirmed that this was only being made to compete in the Japanese Super GT series, meaning we would never see this honestly stunning car ever come to fruition. But don't cry just yet, as just a year later in early 2011, rumors began swirling that Honda was going to take a second crack at reviving the NSX, and a little while later in December of 2011, Honda officially confirmed they were going to revive the NSX nameplate. But see, Honda had been at this for a while, way before the rumors even began surfacing, because literally 1 month later in January of 2012, Honda dropped the mother of all bombshells at the annual North American Auto Show when they revealed this. This was going to be the successor to the NSX. It kept the same spirit of the OG NSX, utilizing a mid-mounted V6 engine. However, this one was going to have way more kick to it, as it was going to be paired to a hybrid all-wheel drive system. Now, obviously nowadays, vehicles like the McLaren Artura, the Corvette E-Ray, and even the recently announced Lamborghini Revuelto are hailed as being the amazing future of performance vehicles. But back then, this was revolutionary. Getting supercar power levels out of a V6 by Honda no less, that seemed like an almost impossible task.
Wait, SpongeBob! We're not cavemen! We have technology!
However, Honda spent the next couple of years absolutely putting in work, getting every single little drop of pony power that they could out of that V6. And that, paired with advancements in battery electric hybrid technology, meant that if it was going to come true, it would be the hallmark of the supercar market. However, weeks turned into months turned into years, with little to no word from Honda on the progress of the second gen NSX. And people, understandably, got worried, as the original time goal was to have the new NSXs being delivered by 2012. But 2012 came and went with nothing from Honda or Acura on the progress of the vehicle. However, just like in life, patience pays off, and indeed it paid off for everyone waiting on the edge of their seat for the NSX successor. As in 2015, again at the North American International Auto Show, the NSX was again revealed to the public. This time though, it was for real, as Acura confirmed that what you saw that day was going to be what you were going to get. It was official, the NSX was coming back as a production vehicle, and shockingly, a lot of people in the automotive world were pretty upset by it. Not that the NSX was making a comeback, but more so what powered it. See, most people thought the fact that the Honda decided to go with an all-wheel drive hybrid powertrain was a sin against humanity. But even prepubescent me didn't really see the issue with it, and I still don't. See, most people forget that as amazing as the OG NSX was, well, let's just say it wasn't the most powerful vehicle for sale even back then. But they couldn't get away with that this time around, as their main competitors at the time of Ferrari and Lamborghini, even though they were making supercars, they weren't exactly the lightest or the fastest fastest on track. So what the NSX lacked in horsepower, it made up for in weight savings and agility in the corners. However, between then and now, the times had changed. Ferrari and Lamborghini had both gotten massive cash injections from Fiat and VW Audi Group respectively, and they spent that money bettering their cars overall. So really, if they wanted to keep the price cheap compared to the competition, they almost had to make it with the hybrid powertrain. So when the first one started getting delivered, people were understandably kind of skeptical, but the skeptics were quickly silenced when they realized the real work put into this car. This car had so much revolutionary design elements and tech, like an aluminum space frame design, super high strength steel, and more. It utilized a 3.5-liter V6 paired with a battery cell and 2 electric motors in the front, 1 in the rear, to help produce a combined 573 horsepower, which is really damn good. This was paired to a 9-speed dual clutch automatic, which helped it assassinate its competition in the Lamborghini Huracan, the Ferrari 488, and the Audi R8, and it stayed true to its roots, as it cost just a fraction of the price of its competition. But this NSX gets even better, as in August of 2021, Acura announced that the NSX would be getting a Type S variant, which got slightly redesigned styling and an upgraded power output, shooting all the way up to 603 horsepower. Acura announced that it would also be the final year of the NSX, and that it was going to be limited to 300 units, which, real quick sidetrack here, I know that sounds hyper limited until you realize that there was only one model year where Acura actually sold more than 300 NSXs worldwide, but that doesn't make it any less cool. However, the revival of the Type S brand under Acura was only just getting started. See, in early 2021, the rumor mill began churning again. This time, the word through the grapevine was that Acura was going to revamp another legendary nameplate. This time around, the Integra would be getting the treatment, and Acura actually confirmed it at the famous Monterey Car Week in a pretty cool way. See, it was thought that they were only going to be revealing the NSX Type S, but in a surprise drone show, they revealed that the Integra was in fact making a return, and people did not have to wait long, as in late 2021, Acura revealed the Integra prototype, and similar to the NSX, it was going to be effectively the same car that we saw that fateful day. And again, similar to the NSX, people threw a raging fit over it, saying how it looked nothing like the OG Integra we think of, but more on that later. The first Integras were shuttled off the production line about halfway through 2022, and when people got them, they loved it. This was effectively what everyone wanted out of the Civic Si, a decent compromise between a fun weekend car and a good daily driver, but with an actually livable interior. And I gotta admit, at first, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. I got the sense that Acura was just using this as a cheap cash grab, and everyone knew it was effectively a replacement for the ILX. But that was squashed once people realized what this would get. It was going to come standard with the 1.5-liter turbo 4-banger out of the Civic Si, but you could get it with a manual transmission, a massive W for enthusiasts everywhere. But still, to me and a lot of others, this still felt like a cheap cash grab, as it was alright, but not quite there to be a suitable successor to the Integras we had all posted up on our bedroom walls and dreamed of owning. But as we should have all come to realize by now, Honda wasn't done yet. Shortly after the Integra was announced, spy shots began surfacing of a special wide-body Integra putting in work at the famed Nürburgring Nordschleife. If you don't know, the Nordschleife is known as the premier testing ground for every automotive manufacturer to test upcoming cars, so people naturally drew the conclusion that this could very well be the Type R successor we all dreamed of. And we were right, as very soon after, Honda officially confirmed that the Integra was going to get a performance variant, and that it was going to get the power plant from the recently announced Civic Type R. Now, Honda had enthusiast attention. I mean, how couldn't they? This was the car us Gen Z had zoned out in class dreaming about, and it was finally going to arrive. So in early 2023, Honda officially revealed the Integra Type S, and while at the time of recording it hasn't hit showroom floors yet, it really looks like this will take the crown in the American hot hatchback war. While yes, it shares a lot of platform components with the Civic Type R, it is, in my opinion, much better. First off, it got larger Brembo front and rear motors. The engine that they ripped right out of the Civic Type R was getting tuned up to the tune of an extra 5 horsepower, which while yes, isn't a particularly large amount of power, when paired with other enhanced features this car has, it's nothing to scoff at. It's also getting a standard front LSD, which keep in mind in the new GR Corolla Core is just an option. The pinnacle though, in my opinion, well, it's actually a tie. First off, the interior is actually good. While yes, its Type R cousin's interior isn't terrible, the amount of plastic at its price point isn't exactly welcome. But the Integra's interior, now that looks like a nice place to be. The second and arguably most praised and important upgrade is the factory wide body. And yes, it's not the level of a Rocket Bunny or Liberty Walk kit. It looks awesome though. All of this put together, I mean, it just looks neat. It's my favorite car this year, tied with the new Prius. It's just absolutely amazing. So with all of that, does that make Acura's Type S performance division the best performance division in the automotive world right now? Well, I think so. They have proven with the NSX and the Integra that their cars are for the real enthusiast. They find industry first unique ways to ensure their cars not only keep up with the competition, but slaughter it on the streets and track anywhere, anytime, all for a fraction of the competition's price. In a sea of tech-heavy performance cars like the new Mustang, the new line of AMGs, and M-Series vehicles, and more, Acura's Type S division has proven itself that it cares about us, which in today's day and age is a lot more than you can ask from most performance divisions.